As you may have seen last time, I got hit in a parking lot, and I showed how to install a dash cam in case it happens again. This time, it's time to get rid of the scrape. I'm only washing this one spot because it's 20 degrees and my hose is frozen. The first step will be removing the paint transfer. I want to try 3 different methods that I've seen, so I'm taping off the sections to try them separately. The first method is going to be goof off. I need to be careful because it has acetone in it, but as you can see, it works very quickly. It advertises that it's safe for most automotive applications, but keep an eye on your rag to see if any of your paint color comes up on it. Remove the paint transfer pretty quickly and just left the scrapes from the hit. The next would be WD-40 and a magic eraser. After spraying it down with WD-40, I worked it in with my magic eraser. The magic eraser is an abrasive, so you're still removing material, but mechanically versus chemically. It took considerably longer, which leads me to believe this is potentially a safer option compared to the goof off, and ended with a total of 3.5 minutes. Not too bad either. Last is a compound or scratch remover. By hand, this took the longest compared to the other 2. I still need to compound the other 2 regardless, so that extra time can be added to the compound stage later. I landed at 5.5 minutes for this one. The WD-40 and the magic eraser did its job, but left the original scratches plus some very light ones from the eraser. As expected, and did a decent job. The compound one left the paint in a way that you could probably just call it done, but there are still some minor scratches I will buff out. I also wouldn't recommend doing the whole job with a machine polisher from the beginning. You don't want to gum up your pad or rub the paint transfer around your car, so removing the paint transfer separately is important. Last is the goof off. Even though this is probably the most risky if the scratch has gone through your clear coat or your paint is old, but for most cases, this is probably the method I will use. It was the easiest, fastest, and it got the most paint out, but only because I planned to compound afterward. These scratches seem like they might be a little bit tough, and there are a couple deeper ones like this one. So I think it might be easier to wet sand before compounding. So I'm going to start with 1500 grit sandpaper. Once all the deep scratches are gone, I move up to a 3000 grit sandpaper. Now that the sanding is done, it's time to compound. I'm using an extra heavy cut compound. This stuff's pretty aggressive, so I would be careful if you're going to use it too. There's a lot of other options out there that aren't as aggressive, but it's just going to take longer. And assuming you don't have a dual action polisher, you can always use a microfiber towel like I did in the beginning, but I am going to use my polisher this time. They're honestly not that expensive. I got mine at Harbor Freight maybe 8 years ago for 40 bucks. They have gone up a little bit, but you can always wait for a sale. After compounding, I move on to a foam pad and a more gentle polish. Last, I just apply a wax as a protectant. I honestly got pretty lucky. The damage was only in the clear coat and there was only a small ding. If it was any deeper or went through the clear coat and the base coat, there's pretty much nothing you can do besides respray it or clean it up as best you can and touch it up with some paint. Next time I'll be looking at getting a used set of rims, and then I'll be detailing those before I get on the car. That way they're easy to take care of in the future. Then as it gets warmer, I'm going to ceramic coat this thing and then introduce my E36 so I can start work on that. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.